Ahnist Section, what up, what up? We got Death Wish on the platter today. Little review thing, trying shit out. This was a film that was supposed to come out last year. A couple things happened around that point in time, Las Vegas shooting. It got pushed back to March of this year. It was going to be November last year to March. Given even more ridiculous kind of things now with the Parkland shooting, gun laws, talks, it kind of fell into the radar for multiple reasons. Ended up just going to see it finally. It's definitely on the pulse of like where the hell we're at with gun issues, and so let's really get into it. It starts off like hot, like there's already like a shooting going on, and it's set in Chicago. The beat of it, just like every day, every weekend, a crazy amount of shooting. They start you off with a cop getting shot and getting driven to the hospital. Bruce Willis's character is a doctor that is like specialty is like trauma surgery and trauma victims. In the beginning, just like, all right, he's already fixing one guy, then he's already fixing another guy. Like clockwork, like one bullet out, this guy and that guy. And so the setup from there is that you go into his family life. His daughter's about to go to college. His wife is about to be a doctor herself officially with like a PhD and all that. What sets it up from there is a valet guy finds out their address. And you may have seen in the trailer, is like it's like a home invasion, robbery. It goes awry and leads to his daughter getting shot and his wife ended up dying from bullet wounds. Cut to his hospital, he gets the word from, of all people, with a really small cameo, MIKE EPPS, like super small cameo. Like you see him in 3-4 scenes max. He gets word from MIKE EPPS' character. He's going through issues, he goes to see a therapist, and he ends up going to the funeral for his wife, who is originally from Texas. Goes to Texas, drops the body off to the family. You start to see the involvement, his character going through a mourning process of grieving, now getting introduced to like this gun world. It's a really key scene where he's talking with his wife's father. Suddenly there's like this poacher issue that comes up. And it's Texas, so he just pulls his gun out and just starts banging like shots. These couple guys like messing with a like, cut up deer, offs the deer out of respect. Western ass moment all of a sudden. It's like a whole creed about taking the law in your own hands if no one else will, and being, and come back to Chicago. He's like bunkered down in like the basement, and he's doing like the classic thing where like the protagonist is like just looking up how to do shit on YouTube. When you reach a certain age now, you gotta like look through YouTube videos how to do shit. There's a Russell Crowe film that does the same thing. Police are involved trying to find who the killers are, who the robbers were. Encompasses Dean Norris from Breaking Bad. He's always gonna be the cop dude that deals with like these tactician type of folks. And his partner, who names escapes me, but I will feature in this video. You have these elements, he's talking with police and they're not getting anywhere because it's Chicago, it's a crime every day. He's researching guns and he goes to like a specific spot with like this specific girl that's in the advertisement, like Jolly Rancher Jam shooting range. And he ends up getting a Glock through like some random chain of events, starts practicing, goes on the hunt basically to get like a taste for it. He's on the street and he's looking for someone like about to get carjacked, and he stops it. And someone's filming it in like a restaurant nearby, like a bar. It's funny too, the element, like this modern element, memes now, because the video goes online. He gets like, they're talking about it in like Sway in the Morning and another like the Man Cow show. They gave him a name, Grim Reaper. From there, you see him practicing and more finally getting bits and pieces of like how they found his house, who found it, and who's behind it. The element, it's like a slow build-up. It's a classic slow build-up of like, we're gonna get you the climax of the film. I did like, there's really like the second person he goes after. It was affecting a kid. A kid got shot, comes to him in his hospital, and he finds out the name and the story, the Ice Cream Man. And there's this cool moment where I really appreciate the music they use. He's like setting up, and it's like a quick shift, just like, boom. Love Sosa comes on by Chief Keef, and it's this perfect. He's about to get his new sweater that he's like known for in the film, and Love Sosa just comes on in like this perfect cadence, like is epic. It's like a quick moment, you start feeling like blood pulsing again all of a sudden. And that's, Chief Keef is from Chicago, and so it's like a nod to the music scene out there. Ends it with Ice Cream Man, moves on, the valet guy comes into play, he gets shot up, he dies, but he's wearing a key piece of jewelry that is like mentioned earlier. Takes his phone, researches out, he found where he stays at, and that's what leads into like the next chain of the film. Not just offing random people, but offing the dudes that were involved with the home robbery. The timeline seems to take place over several months. That little tidbit I do appreciate with like the Eli Roth style. Comes into play later on, the Eli Roth like signature, where there's a bit of a torture scene and it's in depth, and the doctor's background comes into play like about specific It's a really cool like nod to like Hostel or Hostel 2 kind of vibes. And he offs the guy, one of the guys involved, cuts into play the head of the robbery that happened. It's around the same time. This is where like the chain of events is really cool. The setup of time. His daughter is finally waking up from the coma. There's another character, the brother character, played by Vincent D'Onofrio. He has like a criminal background, and like the cops are starting to look at him as like the suspect of the vigilante Grim Reaper dude. Finds out what his doctor brother's doing. There's one instance he saves him from the cops, like almost figuring it out. This is where I also had made a video for this too, is that key moment where the doctor is about to get in literal contact with the main head robber dude. This would be the second time. First time was in like club scene that was a little random. This is like the major second and third act movement. Right as this is about to happen, it's like this key scene. The daughter's awake and about to go home, and he's about to meet the main robber the second time. Lights go out in the theater, literally, like legit. It's a small theater, by the way. It's maybe 10 heads max with me, and the lights go out, dude. Literally, all you hear is the audio. First 30 seconds, it's like, is it gonna come back? Is it coming back on? And no, it doesn't. 40 seconds in, I'm like, F this. I go to walk out and to tell somebody, and you hear all like the pivotal 4 minutes of setup. It's awkward. Like it's like one lady just walked out. She's like, I'm done with this. I'm done with this. She goes, 9 heads remain. It just cuts to like the elevator, him leaving, kind of right where we left off. The moment is kind of shifted. It's the perfect setup of he is like saved from like all the past killings he did, law registration for the guns he applied at this specific shooting range he went to. It's really cool setup. But ultimately, to get in depth of it is a non-partial look at where we're at with guns and gun issues. It's kind of a weird time film still, but it is like almost like it's on the nerve of what's going on. It's a perfect remake as far as the timing of it. It's kind of a weird time film still. Do we just kind of let shit go off as far as like let the government take place? So should we arm teachers now or arm security more? Do we ban guns? Do we ban certain guns? What's the next step? Really a pivotal film. What's the next move? And it doesn't give you too much of a bias. I believe there would have been a different edit if it had been released in November as crazy vigilante style comeback story. Definitely like a Netflix type of film to watch. Something very casual, just happen to see it. Bruce Willis, you're not gonna go wrong. Definitely Eli Roth directing. It's a fun little combo for film, especially at the end. If you've seen the original, you'll know what I'm saying. I don't want to completely spoil it, but I've already told you the plot here, so I want to at least save you the tiramisu of the film. Check it out if you will. Not a bad film. Wait for the dollar theater to see it. That's just me. Ahnist Section, music, movies. We're trying to do it all. Peace.